Welcome to The Explainer. So today, we're going to break down how Elon Musk's companies are doing something pretty incredible. They're transforming from just, commercial companies into these fundamental strategic assets for the entire U.S. economy and its national security.
Yeah, this isn't just about cool electric cars or rockets that can land themselves anymore. We're talking about a fundamental power shift. And really, two recent developments have just blown the doors wide open, revealing a much, much bigger picture that connects AI, national defense, and space in a way that's, well, it's reshaping the future as we speak.
Okay, so let's jump right in. Here's how we're going to connect the dots on this whole thing, from a wild new kind of chip factory to what war looks like from orbit, and all the way to a potential mega merger that could change absolutely everything. First up, let's really get our heads around this central idea. Musk's companies aren't just companies anymore. They're becoming these vital strategic resources for energy, for AI, for defense, and for space. And these two things, happening at pretty much the same time, are like giant flashing signals pointing to this new reality. On one side, you have this huge partnership to solve the single biggest bottleneck in AI. And on the other, you have this strategic vision for total military dominance from space. Put them together, and you can start to see the outline of what's being built. So let's dig into that first pillar and see how it works. We're talking about something called Terafab, and it's a plan to solve the one thing holding back the entire field of artificial intelligence, the physical supply of computer chips. Terafab isn't about making a slightly faster chip to get a little bit of market share. No. This is about completely reimagining how chips are even made in the first place. The goal here isn't to just beat a competitor. It's to create a basically unlimited fire hose of chips to power a future of global-scale AI and robotics. So why bring Intel into the mix? Well, it's a masterstroke, really. Tesla gets the decades of deep manufacturing experience it just doesn't have. The whole project gets to stay on U.S. soil, which for national security is a huge, huge win. And for Intel, man, they've been taking some hits lately. This is a golden opportunity, a chance to hitch their wagon to maybe the most ambitious tech project on the entire planet. And this right here gets to the heart of it. Terafab isn't even playing the same sport as the other chip makers. While everyone else is focused on beating their rivals this quarter, constrained by things like the cost of energy on Earth, Terafab is solving for a completely different problem: unlimited scale. It's thinking about factories in space with unlimited energy, all with the end goal of building artificial general intelligence. It's a whole new paradigm. All right, let's pivot to that second pillar. In this one, wow, this is all about how SpaceX is getting ready to completely rewrite the rules of modern warfare. Projecting military power today is unbelievably slow and ridiculously expensive. I mean, just think about this. A 37-hour round trip for a single bomber, costing a fortune every single hour, and putting pilots in these billion-dollar planes at risk the whole time. You gotta think, there has to be a better way. And this quote just nails the new concept perfectly. Instead of launching something from Earth when you need it, you preposition it. You use low Earth orbit as a giant parking lot for your arsenal. And that simple idea changes a global strike from a matter of days to a matter of minutes. For 5,000 years of human conflict, there's been one simple rule. Whoever holds the high ground wins. It started with hills, then it was artillery on mountains, then it was fighter planes. The advantage is just overwhelming. Well, guess what the final, ultimate high ground is? It's space. So when you can launch things into orbit 100, maybe even 1,000 times cheaper and faster than anybody else, it's a strategic checkmate. You can put your entire infrastructure up there, you can deny access to your rivals, you can strike anywhere on the globe with almost no warning. From a military point of view, it's game over. Okay, so this is where it all snaps together. This is where the two revolutions, the one in chips and the one in space, combine to create an advantage that's pretty much impossible to beat. Just think about it for a second. You've got one pillar that's creating a near monopoly on cheap, mass-produced AI chips, and you've got another pillar creating a near monopoly on cheap access to orbit. What happens when you combine the two? You can build and launch a global, space-based AI system that nobody else can even dream of touching. And listen, this isn't some distant sci-fi future. The moment Starship gets its cost to orbit below $200 a kilogram, and that could happen as early as 2027, the entire economic equation flips on its head. It will literally become cheaper to build and run a data center in space than on the ground. At that point, why would you ever build one on Earth again? So all of this massive convergence of technology and strategy, it leads us to the ultimate question about how these companies, which are now so deeply intertwined, are structured. I mean, let's be real. When Terafab is building chips for Tesla's robots and SpaceX's satellites, and Starship is getting ready to launch Tesla-powered data centers, does it really make sense for them to be separate companies anymore, with separate boards and separate interests? And it's not just us asking this. The consensus from a lot of people who are really close to this stuff is that a merger isn't just, a possibility, it's a near certainty. The strategic logic is just too powerful to ignore. And the key thing to understand here is that this wouldn't be a normal merger just to boost profits. It would be about one thing, and one thing only: speed. When you believe you're in an exponential race to build AGI and secure the future, you have to eliminate every single bit of friction you can: legal, financial, organizational, all of it. A single, unified company is just the fastest way forward. So ultimately, what we're watching is the birth of a totally new kind of entity, one that controls the fundamental technologies for AI, for energy, for defense. It's a kind of power structure we've never really seen before, and it leaves us with a pretty critical question about the future of power itself.